If you sell any type of physical products, this is a must-watch video. In today's video, I will be showing you guys the 5 things that you need to know about Alibaba.com. Now, I want you guys to stay until the end because I'll actually be giving you guys a full 100% free manufacturer list for your clothing brand. And if you guys want me to make another list for other types of niches, just definitely let me know, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into my computer and show you guys exactly what Alibaba.com is, their website, and how you guys can take advantage of it. So as you guys can see here, we're gonna start off with number 1. What exactly is Alibaba.com and what do you need to know about it? Well, Alibaba.com is a platform that you guys can utilize to find wholesale manufacturers. Now, what do I mean by wholesale? I mean that if you wanted to go buy electric bikes, right, then you could actually come here and find other manufacturers out overseas, whether they're in Pakistan, Venezuela, China, all types of different countries are working on Alibaba.com. This is where you're gonna be able to come and find different manufacturers to actually buy in bulk from. So instead of just buying 1 or 2 items, you can just buy them in bulk at a cheap price and then sell it for a profit here in the States. Now, if you guys kind of think about it, that's all that America does. If you guys think about all of the things that are made in China, that are made in Venezuela, are made in Spain, made in all these different places, we buy the materials, we buy the products from the other countries, and then guess what we do? We import them in, right? And then guess what we do? We sell it to our people. So that's the same exact thing that you guys can do on your own within your business. So if you own an e-commerce business, a clothing brand business, or you're trying to start selling products online and you want to hold inventory and buy products at a very cheap price, then this is a great place for you guys to start. Now, the second thing that you do need to know about Alibaba.com is that they do work with a variety of different manufacturers. There's literally over 100,000 plus different manufacturers on this platform. So we all have that friend who's been scammed by a manufacturer, or we heard about it on Instagram or on TikTok or some YouTube video talked about, oh, you shouldn't use Alibaba.com. But here's the honest to God truth. You can get scammed by these manufacturers, but there's a right and wrong way to do it. The wrong way to do it, just so you know what not to do first, is to even, reach out to them through WhatsApp just because they told you to, and paying them through MoneyGram and Western Union. These 3 things are 3 no-nos, okay? The payment processors that you do want to use to protect your payments when you're paying these manufacturers is either utilizing Alibaba.com because they have their own payment processor, right? Using Remitly, which is another platform that allows you guys to break your payments up and it's all protected under the platform itself. The next one is PayPal. You guys can utilize PayPal. And then if you ever do use Western Union or you use MoneyGram, breaking your payments up into 3s or 4s. Now, shout out to Hollywood Shack. He actually gave me some insight on this. I used to do it a little bit differently, but I feel like this strategy is better. So I'm gonna give him some credit before I explain it to you. So basically what you do is with your 3 payments, right? You're gonna split them up. So instead of giving the manufacturer all the money up front, which is how most people normally get scammed, you're gonna break it up into 3s. The first third is for them to start the product. And this is usually after you bought some samples, which they can do for you as well. The second third is gonna come after they start showing you different videos of your items and them being ready to get shipped out. The last third will be sent to them when you actually receive the products. Now, you will have to communicate this with the manufacturer so they do know this is the type of payment structure, because most of them are gonna want the money up front. However, I'm letting you know right now, there's better ways to do things and I don't want you to get scammed. So that's the second thing that you absolutely need to know to make sure you can make a lot of money and utilize this beautiful platform. Now, let's talk about the third thing that you need to know about Alibaba.com. Now, if we go over to the front page of the website, and we scroll down, this is another thing that a lot of people don't really know because they don't have the experience. I've been using Alibaba since 2018, 2019. When I first got started, I was using Alibaba to buy my do-rags, to buy my bonnets, to buy clothing, all of these things when I first got started in e-commerce, and this is how I was able to scale by using the manufacturers I found from here. Now, the more important part, which is the third thing that I want to explain to you guys, is trade assurance, okay? So when you purchase on Alibaba.com, you can obviously see source confidently for your business, knowing that orders made through trade assurance on Alibaba.com are protected from payment to delivery and after sales, which basically means it's protecting your payments when you utilize the payment processor that they have, which means you should be buying your stuff from them through Alibaba.com. The reason being is because if you ever needed to, dispute something, if you ever needed money back, if your items didn't come to the right size or the right address, you can actually dispute it through the platform, and Alibaba.com has a verification system that they go through when it comes to having disputes on these manufacturers. All right, so this is something very important as well. You can use Western Union or MoneyGram. I'm not gonna say I haven't done it, I have in the past, but I've also been experienced before utilizing these platforms, and I had already worked with my manufacturers a bunch of times before using those platforms. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Now, with all of that being said, yes, there are scammers on this platform, and yes, there are really good manufacturers here. But just like anything in life, if there's 100,000 plus manufacturers on here, then you're gonna absolutely have bad apples in that whole entire bunch. So that's something that you wanna keep in mind. You wanna make sure you're vetting them the right way, which is gonna be number 4, okay? Number 4 is gonna be vetting the manufacturers. Well, Tez, how do I vet a manufacturer? How do I know if I should trust them? How do I know if I should send them money? How do I know if they're gonna scam me? How do I know if they're super high quality? Well, I'm gonna explain to you right now. Now, with all of that being said, the first thing you want to do is you want to FaceTime these manufacturers. You can do video calls within Alibaba.com, or you can get their WhatsApp number and FaceTime them. The couple things that you want to look out for is, number 1, you want to see their actual warehouse. You want to see people working for them. You want to see them making stuff. And you also want to see, second thing, items that they've made recently for other businesses and other companies. The reason you want to see this is because not only will you be able to see the quality, but you'll also see who else has spent money with them. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my hacks to finding a lot of manufacturers that work with a lot of big clothing brands that you guys may know. I'm not gonna throw their names in here, but this is one of my hacks of finding their manufacturers and then using the same type of manufacturers as them. And I wouldn't say it's going against anything. It's just like, hey, they have high quality products. I would like those high quality products. They're not gonna tell me how they got it, so I'm just gonna go find them on my own. But again, if you stay to the end, I'll give you an entire free manufacturer list with a bunch of manufacturers that I vetted, okay? So that is number 4. Number 5, the 5th thing that you absolutely need to know is that there is a thing called verified suppliers, okay? Now, if a manufacturer is not verified, that does not mean that they're a bad manufacturer that you can just never use them. It just means you gotta be a little bit more careful. But if a manufacturer is verified, let's actually go ahead and find one that is verified. I'll show you guys how to determine if they are and if they're worth working with, okay? So usually the verification process, they have like a form where basically these manufacturers have to fill out. They have to be on there for X amount of time. They have to have a certain amount of 5-star reviews or above 4-star reviews. They have to be on the platform for a certain amount of time as well. So as you guys can see, this has 3 diamonds and it says verified supplier. They've been in business for around 4 years on Alibaba.com. And on top of that, they have their ratings. So one of the things you want to keep in mind is that when you're working with verified suppliers, most cases, Alibaba has already done the vetting process, but that does not mean that you should just outright trust them and pay them up front in full. That does not mean that at all. It just means that they're verified and that Alibaba did some homework on them. But it still means that you need to do your homework on them as well, okay? You want to click on the reviews. Now, you don't want to just be buying stuff from manufacturers without looking at the reviews that other people may have. Now, you guys can also see like videos of their work. They have, in-depth pictures and videos that you guys could use. They have, all the specifics if it comes in different colorways, the payment processors, the shipping process. And if you scroll down, you can see all of the different specs when it comes to working with the company and the type of products that they sell. It doesn't matter if you're just doing clothing or if you're doing bikes or if you're doing jewelry. Now, what I would personally do if I were you guys is I will go down to the rating and review section and I will start looking at the reviews and look at what people say, okay? So this person, I can't express how much I love this electric bike, and going on, and you would obviously look at the other pages, but what I like to do is look at the pictures and videos of these as well from the reviews. This means that other people have spent money on this item, and on top of them spending money on this item, they've liked it enough to share their experience on the platform. This is something that as a customer and as a consumer and also as a business owner, this is something that I want to see before working with them. Now, the 5th thing that you do need to know, okay, which is very important before we get into our bonus tip, okay? The 5th thing that you do need to know is that you kind of want to know exactly what their store rating is, the on-time delivery rate, which is how quickly a shipment gets to you, and then their response time. So you don't want to be working with manufacturers that take 10 hours to respond, right? A lot of manufacturers you can actually work with, they do have like a 1-hour response time. Some have 5 hours. It really just depends. things, okay? So I'll show you guys how to source and filter through these. So let's just kind of go back really quick. So on the filter side of this, and this is also an app that you guys can download as well, so feel free to download it. If you wanted to, you know, basically only work with a specific type of manufacturer, and then we're gonna click verified supplier, and then we want it to have less than 1 hour response time. Now it's going to filter the entire search by those specific things. Now, again, you do still have to go through the process of actually working with them and talking to them and getting the app and communicating. However, it's all a super dope process, and once you get it down, it becomes fairly easy. Okay. Now, the next thing, the bonus tip that I will give you guys, I have 2 bonus tips for you, but the first one is I do recommend that you guys create a script. That way you're not constantly reaching out to these manufacturers with different things and saying different stuff and the conversations go in different ways. Just have one script, reach out to a bunch of them, and then that way you can actually, you know, negotiate and do all the good things from there. Okay. Now, the last bonus tip that you need to know when it comes to Alibaba.com is a faster way to get manufacturers to come to you. So instead of you trying to go find them by searching products right here, now I'm going to show you how to bring them to you. Now, if we scroll all the way down, and really quick before I show you guys that, there's again a bunch of different industries they work with. So luggage, furniture, shoes, beauty, sports, home and garden, whatever you can think of, they have it. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And under the source on Alibaba.com section, then you guys want to go ahead and click on request for quotation. Now I'll walk you guys through this as well. Now, basically what you can do here is you can type in whatever type of product that you are trying to sell, right? So let's just say I am a clothing brand owner and I want to sell some jogging suits, right? And I'm looking for a manufacturer around jogging suits. Well, now basically what this is doing is it's going to create a request. And when you fill out this request, it's basically going to plaster it to the market and the niche of people or manufacturers that can work with you within your requirements. All right, so basically, let's say for the jogging suits, I want them to be reversible material. Let's just say I want it to be 100% bamboo fiber. Select your budget range. Let's say I have less than $1,000. Let's say I only want to buy 5 items right now, and then I have detailed requirements. I want, you know, a Chanel patch. I want all these different things. I want the sizes like this and colors like this and all of those good things, right? And then what you can do is upload an image right here and then input your email address. Now, once you're done, you click invite suppliers to quote, and now what's going to happen is there going to be a plethora of different manufacturers reaching out to you that can work with you within those requirements. That does not mean that they are all good, and that does not mean that you should trust them all. It just means that you should go ahead and communicate to them through an easier route than messaging them all at the same time, one by one. This just makes things a little bit easier. So with all of that being said, I know you waited to the end for this exclusive deal that I have for you guys, but this is something that I wanted to do because I've watched a lot of Alex Hormozi, just like a lot of you have as well. And one thing he said that really stuck with me is stacking your goodwill. So that's something that I want to do with you guys. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, and after you hit the subscribe button, go down into the description and there will be a link directly to an entire manufacturer list. Now, it's going to be 100% free, but I do want to let you know something. Before you start working with these manufacturers, I give you a script, I give you how to negotiate with them, but I also give you them and some codes that you guys can use with them to get some free samples. Now, the thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that you should still vet these manufacturers yourself. Even though I've done some of the process for you, well, majority of the process for you, it doesn't mean that if this video blows up, they're going to be able to source every single person with the best experience possible. So that's something I want to keep in mind. I'm not responsible for anything that happens. I just want to give you guys a bunch of resources and value with the hopes that you guys leave a subscribe and join Limitless Investments, the #1 clothing brand community in the entire world. You guys will also find the link down in the description for a 7-day free trial. But before you click off of this video, if you have not already watched the negotiating video that is somewhere around here, then you definitely want to go ahead and do that. So that way, before you start reaching out to these manufacturers, we build a script together and we tell you exactly how to negotiate with them and the 5 different negotiating tactics that I learned from losing money and being scammed. So with that being said, I know you'll love that video. So hit the subscribe button and I will see you guys in the next YouTube video. Peace.